All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. It is time. It is time to mix some beats, man. And I got a really good one. This one is actually, we're going to be mixing down a single for my Spotify. It's going to be sick. I've got a really awesome, soul track that I can't wait to show you guys. But real quick, if you haven't heard my most recent release, this one's called Summer Breeze. It's what we're listening to right now. I've also got another one coming out tonight. I know. I drop so much music. I drop every 2 weeks. If you guys are curious, something new comes out on my Spotify. And yeah, it's about that time. Tonight at midnight, I've got a track called Rose Bouquet coming out that is just so lovely. Oh, and I got hot coffee here, man. Okay, I'm feeling ready for a session, you know? Oh, yeah. All right. But yeah, you guys know where to find me. I am TapDaddy on all platforms. Go check me out. Oh, also, I don't think I've told you guys this. I got verified on Spotify. Isn't that sick? I am officially a verified artist. Basically, Spotify just now rolled out this verification feature, and it's really just there to let people know, who's a real artist and who's, AI, you know? So, what's up, Aiden? How's it going, dude? Welcome on in. How's your day going, dude? Hell yeah. We got the homies. here. But yeah, let me pause this. We're going to give our first listen to what we're going to be mixing down today. Let's pause that and let's dive in to Ableton Live. All right, let's give our first listen through of what we're mixing down today. It's a nice soul track for you guys. I'm excited for this one. And you know, this one's already in a pretty good spot. You know, I was mixing it while I was producing it. I spent 8 hours on this. So, you know, but really today we need to get this finalized. We need to get this mastered. But yeah. Have you ever thought about selling your beats? Aiden, of course. I sell my beats, man. In fact, I can't believe it. If you don't know this about me, then I'm doing a bad job. I'm doing a bad job letting people know. Yeah, I've got a full website right here, man. Check it out. You know, and pretty much most of my Spotify's on here. I have recently started to kind of separate the two, right? He's like, oh man, wish I was at home to study this. All good. Oh yeah, that's Chocolate. What's up, Chocolate? How you doing, man? Yeah, welcome on in, dude. No worries, you out? Oh, Aiden's like, I'm joking. Okay. I was like, man, if you don't know this about me, then I'm doing a really bad job telling people. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, Aiden, you kind of got me. But yeah, I do have lots of beats for sale, different licensing tiers, and bundle deals as well. If you're, trying to do, I think my best deal, if you want to get the unlimited license with, no stream caps, buy 2, get 3 free. It's pretty good. But anyways, let's get into this track. Let's get into this. But yeah, Chocolate, what's up, man? He says, slinging the FedEx packages. Hell yeah, man. Hey, someone's got to. Hell yeah. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day. hope you're having a good route. But yeah, Aiden's like, you should do feedback streams. Oh man, you know what you should do, Aiden? You should drop your album. All right, we gotta dig into this track. We gotta dig in here. All right. So, like I said, this is pretty good. Let's delete some of these tracks that aren't needed. And I was already thinking, like, I feel like some of these vocal elements need to be more prominent. I'm gonna turn it up more like over here where we're in the track, and then we'll come back to the intro and just kind of see where we're at. Let's see. Maybe we bring this guy up a little bit. Chocolate's got it right. He's like, don't do feedback, too many trolls. Dude, I've done feedback streams for the past like 5 years or so. And oh man, I gotta say, it is one of the most difficult sort of formats for streaming to pull off, because you're right, there are too many trolls, you know. It requires heavy moderation and a really good system, right? And, you know, it was really difficult when I was providing free feedback. Like I had, you know, I would take free submissions until like I had subscribers. And then eventually, as my subscriber queue got so full, I started taking dono skips, you know, which was pretty cool. People could tip like $10 and skip the line. And eventually you know, it got so hard to moderate that I decided to stop offering the free feedback, right? So it became a more private community where it's like, well, you can subscribe and then now you've got access to the queue. And it was actually kind of, I feel like, the right move, because you know, we get less like trolls trying to just come in. It's like, you know, you actually have to subscribe in order to get your track reviewed, right? And it's like, just due to that fact, you know, that you got to pay like $5 a month and boom, you're in. You can get all of the music that you want reviewed, you know, all month. And it's like, it was cool because we got a little bit more of a tighter community there. Now, I do kind of feel for people that are like, oh man, I'm not looking to spend money. I just want to hear your feedback. And it's like, I get that, but man, it is just so hard to do feedback streams, man. It is so hard. I still do it though. Every Wednesday on Twitch. If any of you guys do want feedback, you can come through and check it out. You know, I'm TapDaddyBeats on Twitch. Every Wednesday I'm reviewing music. So yeah. Aiden says, Capo is telling me that I shouldn't because no one is really going to listen. And part of me knows he's right, but the other part wants to get all these songs out. Well, look, I don't know. I would say, you know, dude, in a sense, Capo's right. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to hear it, right? It's been how long since your last release? Like, you're starting from ground zero. So it's like, you know, don't load yourself up with expectation, right? But at the same time, it's like you got to start somewhere, right? At this point, it's like really up to you. Do you want to put it out? You know, you should put it out then. Or if you're like, man, that sounds like a lot of work, I just want to move on and, you know, move on to other things. That's totally fine too. But I feel like that's where it's like, you know, you should just listen to what you want to do. I once made an entire album and scrapped it because I was like, oh man, you know, by the time that it was coming around for release, I just like was like, man, I've just progressed so much farther than this. This album isn't like who I am anymore. So I decided to just like scrap it and focus on other things. But you know, like honestly, it's like I don't think that that should be a reason to release it or not to release it. But yeah, you know, he's got a point. It's like you're starting from ground zero, so the stakes are low. You can kind of do it in which way you want. You know, what kind of gets tricky is when you have kind of like built up motion, and then there kind of is that like expectation behind release, right? But in the beginning, it's like you're totally free from all of that. You don't have that sort of pressure, and you can kind of take advantage of that and kind of do it in whichever way is satisfying to you, you know. Now, I will say, if you want to like grow, like get fans and grow a fan base, you've got to like release very consistently, you know. That's where I think singles really make a lot of sense, and it's like, you know, singles allow you the consistency to stack up audience and attention, so that by the time you have an album to release, it's like you have people that are anticipating it. But until then, it's like, you know, who cares, right? There's no pressure any which way, so you have total freedom to kind of do it however you want, whether you're like, I'll roll it out this way, or whether you're like, I'll just keep this private, you know. It's kind of like however you're feeling, right? But I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. It's tough. It's a tough call, man. I know that you've sunk a lot of time in it, and that for that reason, I would say get it out, you know. For the very reason that you've like put so much time and effort into it, I would say, well, yeah, dude, you totally should put it out. But, you know, Kappa's got a point where it's like, you know, it's not like there's a billion fans trying to be like, we're demanding it. But who knows? Maybe one day you will, right? You got to start somewhere. Anyways, that was a big rant. We're working on these vocals first. Okay, those sound pretty good together. What about over here with this other vocal? I feel like this could totally come up like 2 decibels. Let's bring this back a little bit so we get a little bit more context. Cool. These guys can definitely come out. And this little guy down here, I kind of processed it a little bit differently. I vinyled out this other hit. It's like monoed and vinyled out. I want that guy to be a little bit smaller. We might just raise up this guy a bit. There we go. Dude, this is cool. Oh man, let's get our bass line kind of sorted here. Where is that bass? Yeah, it's like right here. I feel like this can totally come up. It's kind of a weird donkey bass. Bong. I like this feeling. I feel like it could almost use more compression. This feels good. sounds solid. I feel like I need to let's just make sure we have from the beginning up until this point figured out. I feel like there's still some stuff for us to kind of play with. Yeah, you can see I really was mixing this quite a bit. You know, okay, at first I was like trying, you can see here, I've got a mono EQ and a stereo EQ. I was trying to like kind of pull out the sides a little bit more. I'm actually thinking I might kind of go opposite. What if we tried it like this? We don't even need to duck too much on the sides. In fact, let's just keep this kind of here. We just kind of pull it forward in the center a little bit. Okay. Oh, dude. That top vocal needs to come forward like 1 more decibel. Track. Let's pull back on the reverb on this a little bit. You know, this might be another one where we kind of pull it forward just in the mono lane. We have these saxophones on the side. I feel like this just needs more center presence. I don't want to shave away from the sides, but I might want to just like, I kind of like the feeling of we just kind of pull it forward a little bit in that center lane. Just like right where the majority of that body is. So we go stereo, we go to M/S, that stands for mono versus stereo. So now it's in mono mode. This is only going to touch the center. And we also have a stereo mode. So if we like kind of pull right here, let's hear this together though. We need to. See, now we can kind of turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I kind of want to boost up these saxophones a little bit. All right, so I tried to make this guy a little bit more minimal on the side here. What if I kind of had this guy oscillate? Because I want him to be quiet, but I do want your attention to kind of be drawn to this. So like, where did the legacy auto pan go? I see that there's like, wow, this totally changed. It's been a while since I've just pulled out auto pan. And we say rate time. No, not time. Synced. So let's slow it down to like, so let's say, let's put this center, because I think that that's, we're gonna go amount like 100%. We might even go like 4. And I want it to start in the left. Okay, 4, but let's see, where do we need to? Nope, we need it back at 180. I just want to shift, yeah, where this is at. Yeah, there we go. And then I feel like we could probably afford to bring this up a bit. I don't know. Would it be better, though, if I did it the opposite? This is at 180 right now. If we bring it back to 0. Because then it kind of bends down into the opposite of where that string comes in, which is kind of advantageous. Okay. What if we kind of played with the shape a little bit, fatten this just a bit so it spends less time in center? That might be it. Yeah, maybe a little bit less shape to it, but I think that's the right idea. Okay, that feels good. All right. We're starting to get places here. I do want to kind of back it up to the drums a little bit. I did this on a track recently where I just bust the reverb on drums just to have a little bit more control over like really how much room noise we were hitting. Let's try something like this. We're going to pull out Super Plate. Play around with some of these. All right, so let's go to drums. Close drum space. But now we got to pipe the audio. But you see, we only send like a little bit to it. This feels a little bit better. Okay. Oh, dude. I don't know though if that's gonna feel better than just the tightness of how. See, this almost feels like too dry now that I've like experimented with a little bit of reverb. It's gonna be something kind of in between. Let's do this. And you're not going to hear it too much here, but it definitely adds to the feel of this. If we applied a little bit of compression to this guy, I don't know if this is going to completely bury the rest of the track, but I need to hear if this is going to like really fill this out. We're applying this to this sample, this guitar sample. This does feel a lot more full, but now we need to kind of pull back on it. Dude. the snare. Oh, a little bit of mono too. Just a little tiny bit. Ah, dude, this is sounding so good. All right, how are we feeling about this little setup on the intro? I like it. I like it. I don't want to mess with it much. All right, yeah, I feel like we're at the point where we really need to just like listen through this. I did a lot of the grunt work of the mix while I was producing this, which I don't always do. But this one, you know, I feel like sometimes it's kind of nice to kind of slide things into place as you kind of have the vision in your mind of how you want this to go. So I feel like we've kind of buttoned that down the hatches, and now we should just kind of listen to it with an open mind and kind of like let any mistakes that might be there kind of come to us, right? Not try to dig and look for them. Let's kind of let any mistakes that might be here kind of come to us. Okay. Okay. Wow. This is a cool track. Oh, guys, this is like the magical moment. All right. This is where we're going to really drive it home. The mixing process, I think, is complete. Now it is time for mastering. And for anybody that might just be curious, what is the difference between the two? Mixing is all about the balance of it, okay? We're just trying to neatly package this in the most cleanest, most flavorful way, right? And now that we have that, and it has nothing to do with loudness, now that we have that perfect mix, we can move on to the mastering stage where we really start to elevate this to a commercially loudness in as flavorful of a way as we can, right? That's kind of the goal. So I'm thinking right off the bat, what I like to start with is compression, right? We're going to throw the Shadow Hills master compressor on the master bus, okay? I'm going to enable sidechain so that it kind of gels together, the kicks and all of the vibrance, right? And we got two different types of compressors here to play with. We have an optical compressor and a discrete compressor. Now, the discrete compressor is kind of nice. It has pretty fast attack, or actually, no, I have this backwards. Pretty slow attack, pretty fast release, okay? So this kind of, I think, makes it feel kind of sticky, like how the drums like snap, and it really, I feel like this affects the lows in a very beautiful way, right? The optical is kind of good for a little bit more mid-range to mid-high range, just giving more brightness and just warmth, right? These kind of work in tandem with each other. So we're gonna try to run this. And we're going to start with a little bit of threshold on the optical. Let's get in with the drums. We're going to pull up the discrete threshold. Almost a bit too much. Now we've reduced, now we add. So we're going to add gain to the optical. We're going to add gain to the discrete. And they kind of, as you pump more gain into these compressors, you'll see it kind of captures different elements of the mix. Oh yeah, we get this mid-range here. I think we can back off on the discrete a bit. Okay. There was one thing that, you see, now that we apply a little bit of compression, I feel like there's little things in the mix that I'm like noticing. I almost want to go back and reevaluate the gain of the saxophones here. It felt like they might be able to come up a bit. And I just realized how dry this guitar sounds. There's one thing that I want to try. Guitar Rig 6 MFX. We're going to try this on this guitar real quick, this little teardrop. There's this like chorusy reverb that I really enjoy. Oh, that's so much more flavorful, but now we need to turn it down. That really added a lot. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now, let's go back and kind of feel out the gain of the saxophones. You see, I feel like as we start to squeeze on dynamics, I notice more about the balance of things in terms of like how they're positioned against each other. Some things kind of win out over others. Oh no, though, actually hearing this back, this feels right. I think we had this. Oh, this is so good. All right, now let's really flavor this out, okay? We're gonna bring in some tape on the master. We're gonna pull out Oxide tape recorder, and oh man, this should be good. Oh, I can already tell this is so vibrant. Let's hear this from this section. I want to feed that bass into this a little bit harder. Let's just pick up this bass like 1 decibel. Oh, yeah. Now let's pull out Little Radiator. We're gonna go pretty hard on the distortion here. Oh, this is like so warm. We gotta be careful not to do too much, but this is just like so vibrant, right? So warm with all of this distortion on here. I'm almost a little concerned that kick's like poking out a little bit now. See, if we get rid of, I don't know, the tape and the Little Radiator in tandem is a lot, but it feels so good. Well, see. What's up, the real Baba Baba? How you doing, man? Okay, one last thing I want to do here in terms of flavor. 610 preamp, little lift in the highs. Ooh. And I've been kind of cautious about using this on my masters lately. I feel like it's been picking up my snares too much, but I think that this balances the snare a lot more. It was a little bit too dark, and this lifts it perfectly. I'll tell you one thing that we can do, since this kick is kind of poking out, but I'm really liking the flavor of, well, we've got oxide, tape processor, and this honestly is one of those things that is kind of pulling out some of those low frequencies, right? It makes our bass sound immaculate. That kick almost is too much, right? But also this is adding a whole lot of vibrance, both in the mids and the highs, right? This is kind of an interesting plugin in that it's applying a little bit of saturation, a little bit of tape saturation, a little bit of tape compression, and a little bit of EQ, right? This little radiator, though, this is where we're getting the bulk of our distortion. This is what's coming after oxide. And this is really making this sound super vibrant and rich in the mid-range. That's cool. It's also adding a little bit of extra crunch, I think, on our drums, which you'll see I had to kind of pull this back a little bit because we don't want to super like crunch out our drums. Now this, I'm mostly using this simply for this knob, the 610 preamp, where we get this kind of emulated EQ, hardware EQ. It's kind of like this emulated hardware EQ, quote unquote, where boosting these highs, we're like really lifting it up in the high range to give it this like really bright feel, this crisp, bright feel. Sometimes this ruins our snares, but I think that this one really corrected the snare right into place. It feels very awesome. It even like really lifts that tambourine. So I think the solution here is we wanted all of the three of these. The only problem that's kind of creating is like the kick is a little bit much, so we could turn this down a bit. This feels a lot more locked in. I turned it down like 3 decibels, man. Yeah. I think we're gonna have no problem getting this up to volume. We're aiming for minus 10.5 LUFS. I have a hunch I might accidentally overshoot it and have to kind of wind it down a bit. Because all of this saturation and compression is going to make it really easy for us to hit our LUFS value. Oh man, that's so beautiful. All right, what is our max peak at? Minus 3.05. Okay, we're going to boost this by 3.05. Okay. And I'm going to slap a limiter down on the other side of that just to catch anything that might jump up over. Sometimes, you know, things get a little bit unpredictable and it might not give you the exact same max peak value every single time you run a track. So for that reason, we're just going to grab this limiter, slap it down on the other side. Boop. Yeah, put the ceiling at 0. We're cool. We're chilling. And I kind of want to see how close we are to our target LUFS. I assume we're going to have to raise it a bit. And we're going to use our maximizer to do that. But before we do that, I just want to kind of like get a feel for how much ground we have to make up, right? So, wow. We're getting so loud, I might even have to turn it down in OBS for you guys. We might actually have a decent ways to go. I don't even think our max peak hit 0. You see, like I was saying, max peak values can kind of change sometimes, playback to playback, you know? But that's okay. We're going to get this up to the ceiling using our maximizer. God, this track just feels so incredibly rich. I love it. Oh man, I hope Spotify really likes it. I mostly am in more of a hip-hop instrumental sort of vein. I haven't done a whole lot of like neo-soul music, but I have released a little bit. So I'm feeling out this single, and I've also got an album on the way that's kind of in this vein of music, right? But this single's unrelated to it. This is just me kind of like, this is just something that I've had that didn't quite fit the album necessarily. But it's definitely cut from the same vein. And I'm like, I just want to get this one out, you know? So anyways, we're gonna pull out Ozone 9 Elements. We're really using this for the the maximizer over here. We'll let it try its thing with EQ, but we might just like let that be. We'll see. All right, little volume warning. This might jump up in volume a little bit, just letting you guys know. But let's run it. Let's see what it does. Jesus. I'll turn it down in OBS for you guys a little bit, because I know it is a little bit loud. Turn down Ableton. There we go. Shouldn't be peaking too much for you guys. I actually really like what this EQ is doing. It looks weird, but it's not as extreme as you guys might think. This adjustment on node 4 is only 2 decibels. I like that it's pulling up some of this mid-range, and yeah, it's clamping down here, but you can really hear the difference. This just feels a lot better. All right, let's we're going to run this from the beginning, and we're going to look at our loudness meter, and we're hoping to hit a LUFS value of minus 10.5. We may have even overshot it, but we'll find out. We can always tone it down a little bit. As we let this go, I'm starting to worry about how crisp the highs are. We might lose the 610 preamp, honestly. Wow, minus 10.7. Dude, we were close here. But yeah, I'm starting to feel like, you know, I've been doing so many masters that I've shot myself in the foot with that 610 preamp. I think we might just ditch it. Let's not use that 610 preamp and not boost those highs like that. It's a little too much, I think. So let's see how big of a difference it's going to be. Oh, I'm so tempted. I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, we're gonna turn down some of these hi-hats. But like the snare and the kick feel pretty good. Something else we might do is just turn the drums down by 1. Okay, and we need to pull. Okay, we're pulling back on that threshold to raise the LUFS value, get it louder. All right, let's run it from the beginning. Let's get a read. You know what? I have an idea, and since we have the time, I want to try something out. This is going to be tedious, but I want to take off this 610, and I want to apply it to every instrument except for these drums. Maybe we'll keep it on the tambourine, but I think it is so worthwhile for us to try this. Let's take off our master chain for a second. We're going to group this. We're going to just turn that off. And when I turn it back on, it'll still have that 610 off. But I want to try running this 610 preamp on every instrument rather than on the master bus, because I feel like it is really adding a lot. But the one thing that makes me question its use is the drums, you know? So I'm just going to slap this down, and let me just double check. Yep, we got that with the high filter, or with the high frequency EQ. We're going to do this on every instrument, just across the board. And ideally, this is going to sound really incredible while still preserving how tight and controlled our drums feel. We can always take it off if need be, but I think this is going to be the ticket. Yeah, literally every instrument. We'll see what this does. I've never done this before. But, you know, gotta experiment sometimes. Gotta try something new. Because if this works, there's a couple that I'm like going back on. Oh, do we have an audio track that we're not using? Yeah, we're not using this guy. And we're not using this guy. And we're not using this guy. Got it on here? Yes, I've got the 610. Okay. Let's see how this sounds. Oh, I'm hearing some crackling. Actually, it's on this, yeah. Maybe we just don't have it on that guy. We gotta really listen through carefully now. I'll turn Ableton up while we're doing this without the master on. Then I'll turn it back down when we turn the master on. All right. Oh, that's not good. You know, okay, I think I've decided that's too risky just throwing that on everything. It would have to be applied individually. Like that saxophone does not sound good. So let's get rid of it now. Can't be deleting instruments here. But, you know, it was worth a try. It was definitely worth a try to see if we could get, like, just exclude that, the drums from our 610 preamp. I think really the answer is going to be that we just don't use that 610. I should probably save, by the way. Let me get all of this cleaned up and then we'll save. Yeah, we moved through this really fast. All right, let's see where we're at. Almost there. Okay. Okay. Man. Gotta try things, you know? Just double, triple checking our work here. God, this just feels so rich. I really like this track. All right. I'm going to turn Ableton down again, just into OBS. And then we're going to turn the master back on. And let's see where we're at. And I've got this with the 610 preamp off. So we're going to, hopefully this won't be too harsh with those hi-hats. I think it'll be fine. Boy, you can hear all the fuzz we added in the master, from mostly coming from the little radiator. But I kind of like the extra fuzz here. All right, and we're going to measure our LUFS too. Let's run it from the beginning with the master on, see what our thoughts are and where our LUFS is at. We're aiming for minus 10.5. Boy, this is so much louder. I don't know, I turned it down for you guys, but it might even still be louder at 75% volume. Oh, dude, this is perfect. Did we overshoot it? If so, not by much. No, I think it's sitting down right where we need it to be. Minus 10.5 on the dot. Guys, this is perfect. Okay, I said we were going to save it. Holy shit, we need to save it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, call it Mix V1. Yeah, we flew through that way faster than I thought. And I mean, part of it was just because I like mixed while I was producing this, and it was a really involved session. I started at around like 7 o'clock, and I went till about 1 or 2 in the morning, really just pecking at this. And, you know, sometimes I'm like cranking out beats in like a half an hour, just very off the cusp. And that's kind of like, that's fun. That's a really good kind of creative space when you're just like, I'm just going to fly through something. You know, I think that sometimes you really hit some gold and you're moving at the rate of creativity. But other times I like to really sit with something and agonize over it, you know, and really pick it apart and build upon it in every which way that I can, even the smallest details. I'm like, how can I make this little riser feel more special, right? That's a big part of this. Here, let's hear this back one more time. And then I've got some other work that I want to do. What's up, Mars? How you doing, man? Welcome on in, dude. Welcome on in. How's your day going? You got here just in time to hear the finished result of this track anyways. Says, I watched your short the other day. It was really good. Oh, hell yeah. Which one did you see? I've been starting to upload a few more. I appreciate it, man. I like that you're seeing those. I had one of those go viral on TikTok not too long ago, and I pissed everybody off by talking about cracked plugins. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing those shorts more regularly, you know? I've been releasing maybe about 3 of them per week, which is not a lot, but it's something, you know? Is the one about seeing yourself as an artist is the one I saw. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. For those of you that didn't see it, the whole point of it was I just genuinely asked, what is it like to be a fan of your music? And I think that really just gives the right perspective as to why you might succeed or fail as an artist. And also, you know, just looking at other people as well, why something might work, why something might not. But I think it's a good question to ask yourself if you're somebody trying to build an audience is like, what is it like to be a fan? You know? Yeah, he's like, yeah, bro, it was deep. Hell yeah. Dude, it's honestly, it's subjects like that. You know, I just really love making music, releasing music. This is like what I live and breathe, you know? So, of course I like to talk about it. I don't really know what the purpose of those shorts are, you know, or why I'm like doing these little short form rants, on TikTok or in YouTube shorts. I just know that it's something that I have a lot of knowledge around. It's something that I like to talk about. It's something that I've been on all sides of it, you know. Just like I've gone from spending years on albums that nobody listens to you know, flying through it at a much faster pace and for a much larger audience. And I just feel like I have a lot of perspective that I want to talk about and convey. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing with those shorts. I'm just doing them mostly for fun, you know. So I'm glad you're seeing them, man. All right, so guys, here's what I propose, because we finished this a lot faster. Now, there's kind of a side of what I do as a music producer that I don't really show on stream, and this might be kind of boring. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me. But I'm in the middle of stimming out a beat that I'm going to put on BeatStars that I need to get on BeatStars tonight. And I need to like make the artwork for it. I need to upload it. And I kind of figured I might do some of this on stream. I don't know if I'll do the whole thing, but maybe we could just hang out and I can get some of this going. Let's see, was it song 1033? But yeah, I want to just kind of like blast through my work, and I figure, you know, I may as well while I'm live on stream. But yeah, Mars says there's so much that goes into music, from sound design, arrangement design, the way it's mixed, and even the business side. And yeah, exactly, man. I feel like there's just so much stuff that I kind of like wish somebody had told me years ago, like years and years ago. I had one video on TikTok that I think kind of summarizes a lot of what I preach in terms of like the artist experience. And it's really, I just kind of like listed out what I feel like are the 3 key ingredients to make your music blow up, which is really quality music, really consistent releases, and really effective marketing, and how it kind of goes, you know, how that can really perspire into something much bigger, right? But I feel like I was really aimless when I was like first getting into this, you know. And like, I don't know, man, it's just like stuff like that I kind of want to just like spill the beans about, because I have a lot of thoughts on all of this. Yeah, he's like, and then we barely get paid. Hey, and you know, even with that said, I know a lot of people that are getting paid very well for their music, that are making a lot of money being an artist, doing their thing, you know. I think it's just kind of like you almost need to like look at, if you are trying to make it in music, like you almost need to look at it like a small business, right? And I feel like a lot of people don't want to, because that's like icky. It's like, oh, you're souring the art by thinking about money and figuring out how you're going to get paid from it. But in my experience, I would say that that's kind of like, that's the side of things that enables you to do it full time. That's the side of things that funds you until you're really like on those big stages, right? That's how you get there, right? So I don't know. I think it's for any musician that can get excited about the business side of things and kind of like sink their teeth into it, like, you know, it's kind of almost necessary to really, you know, see success, right? But yeah, he says musicians are the artists that society loves the most and yet unappreciates the most. Yeah. He says, yeah, but it's few compared to many musicians out there. And, you know, I guess I would just say in that regard, like, you know, it's hard to just like, you can't just like wake up and decide to be a rock star, right? You can't just like wake up one day and look up a YouTube tutorial on like, how do I become a famous rock star? You know, it has never been easy for anybody to like succeed. Just like how very few people that like play basketball are going to play in the NBA, right? it is a really rigorous process, but I don't think it's stupid for anybody to like try, to really believe in themselves and really like try to get there, like it's a huge process, but obviously people do it all the time. Every single person, every artist that you have ever enjoyed has had some degree of success, right? All right, well, I'm going to start setting up the stems and track outs. I want to show you guys, this is what I do for my folder. I like to do stems wet and track outs dry. This is like what you get when you get the stems from me if you're ever like buying my beats. Here we go. We'll just bounce all these stems. But yeah, he says, it takes years of training, and that's true. And I feel like even for me, it took almost a decade before I really understood what I wanted to do and like how to get there, because I really did just for like a decade straight just make music for fun, right? And it's great. I feel like that really prepared me and carried me just inspiration wise, my love for music. I was forming my taste in music, building my skills. And then one day I kind of woke up and was like, okay, but I like want to actually do this. I want to be a music producer. I want this to be my job because this is what I'm most passionate about. Like, I don't want to work a day job. I want this to be my day job, And I feel like from that point forward, it was like I started to kind of like position myself in a way and start to build my business, start building my brand, start figuring out like, how am I going to get paid from doing music? Like, I started by selling beats. And then eventually, as I was like making beats on Twitch, people wanted feedback. And I was like, okay, I'll do feedback. And that started paying some bills, And then eventually I put my music on Spotify thinking, if anybody wants to listen to it. But then my wife's like, no, I'm going to make you blow up on Spotify. And she gets really good at the marketing side of things. And I start to get like millions of streams on Spotify. And it's like, okay, now I feel like I have a game plan. I'm going for it. It's going to happen. I'm like, really like, I'm committed to it, right? But I see now from the start of when I really got going on this, I feel like it's going to take a full, like an extra 10 years before I'm really at where I want to be. But that's okay. It's part of the process. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's something that you gradually build at until that graph starts to go exponential. Starts to hockey stick, right? That's what you're hoping for, is your career, your streams on Spotify, but also just like your career and the opportunities that surround you. It's so gradual for so long, and you're just really pecking at it. You're just picking at it with an ice pick, and then suddenly it's just like, oh God, we got opportunities. What is going on here? And I feel like, even that, you get it in plateaus. But eventually, this is what everybody sees. This is what everybody sees when an artist pops off, and they only see this flashpoint in time, right? They don't see the 10 years before then where they were building their audience from 10 people to 100 people to 1,000 people to 10,000 people. They see that moment where they just become a sensation, right? But you should know that for every moment like that, for every artist, there's like a full decade of really putting in the work and really getting to that point for your career, your opportunities, your fan base, your streams to just like hockey stick, right? I don't know, man. It excites me, man. It excites me. I dream about it. I live it. I live and breathe and sleep and just music, man. It's amazing. Here, I gotta get drums wet. Yeah, for those of you guys curious what we're doing right now, I'm bouncing some stems for a beat that I'm gonna be dropping on BeatStars, and I think we're gonna just do it. I think we're just gonna like this is something I gotta get done today, right? This is also part of like what people don't see is like a lot of this is stupid, tedious work that nobody likes doing. But, you know, not every part of making music is like super glamorous. So I need to do my unmastered versions here. But yeah, I see Mara saying, yeah, I'm glad you found someone that supports you. She's a keeper. Oh, absolutely. Dude, Mrs. Tap, like we're a team in this, you know? I might be the one like making the music, but honestly, she does a lot in terms of like so she does a lot of the marketing for me, right? So she runs like my meta ads and stuff like that. On top of that, she also moderates. She's head moderator of like my Twitch community, which requires a lot of moderation. Feedback streams are crazy. But then even deeper than that, she also plays a big role in the music that comes out, in like the projects that comes out, you know, like she sequences my albums. She runs playlists for me on Spotify that have a ton of listenership. Like she's got 2 right now that have like 9,000 followers each. And we've done a lot of playlists in the past, but she's like got a real talent for like sequencing songs in a really compelling way. And so she sequenced my first album, Friends and Enemies, and I was like, this is so good. Like I need your help with this on my next projects. And so what ends up happening is I've got this deep backlog of beats, right? I've got hundreds and hundreds of beats on the backlog, and we both listen to them. We both are like, I like this song. You know, these songs kind of go together. You know, we're bouncing like track names off of each other. She names a lot of these, honestly. What's up, Signature? How's it going, dude? And we'll piece together projects, you know. Some of these projects were like entirely her idea. Like it wouldn't have been even come into existence if she wasn't like pitching like, hey, I've got this album that I'm thinking of with these tracks on it, and it could be like this sort of album. Like Return to Earth was actually an album that wouldn't have happened if she didn't like she was like just playing around with some of the tracks one morning and was like, I've got this really good idea for like this space themed album. And we talked about it. We talked about the themes surrounding it. And like, you know, she pitched me a couple of tracks and I was like, I've got a couple more that go with this. And we start like really piecing together the idea of like this album called Return to Earth, right? And we're like, oh man, this is going to be so perfect. It's like jazzy and ethereal and we have all these beats, right? I don't know. It's so cool, man. I don't know. It's like, yeah, she wears a lot of hats. She wears a lot of hats. We both do. But, you know, we both are like really passionate about the same goals, right? Okay, we're going to export this track. And I got lock in. Walk This Earth is what we're calling this one. Walk This Earth. I always like to, I've got quite a naming convention, so it's like Prod TapDaddy, right? Just because if anybody like, say a mix engineer gets this file, there's a problem or something, they need to reach out, they know that who it's produced by, they can check it. I also always put in the BPM, 84 BPM, and then the version. So this is unmastered, and I always denote mastered versus unmastered. Like unmastered I do parentheses, mastered I do brackets. So I'm going to do you know, parenthesis, let's see, this is the tagged version, so we're going to say tagged non-profit. So this is like what people can get if they just want to rhyme it and kind of play around with a demo. They can do that. There we go. But yeah, oh man. I think I missed one of your messages, Mars. He was saying, yeah, I'm no longer a DJ anymore, but when I listen to all these new artists, I can hear where they're messing up and how to make them better. Dude, when you learn to mix especially, I feel like you start to really like, I don't know, man. You start to notice how poorly mixed some really popular music is. All right, I got to make sure this isn't corrupted. I see that for some reason the left ear here is like red. What is going on there? Oh shit, that is really bad. That is really bad. That is corrupted. All right. Let me reload this project file. Good God. It's a good thing, you got to check your files. I'm glad I didn't have that audio piped in to stream. Basically, the left ear was just like absolutely maxed. It was terrible. Let's see. I'm not going to save because this is corrupted right now. We just loaded this up. It's this Splice instrument plugin that's, screwy. But yeah, Mars says, yes, it took years of daily 5-hour sets to become a good DJ. Yeah, I can only imagine, I can only imagine. I have like zero DJ skills, of course. I'm really good at production. I'm really good at mixing. Zero DJ talents, but it looks really fun. I feel like when you're trying to learn any of this stuff, you're trying to get better at like mixing, you're trying to get better at production. I think it really is like the number one way to get there is just practice. However many hours you spend doing something, you really get your reps in, you really get good at it, Okay, I gotta make sure everything is good here. Just making sure nothing's corrupted. Okay, so now I turn on the tag. We turn off the master, okay? And we're gonna export the tagged non-profit version. Yes. And tagged non-profit. Perfect. Let's hope it doesn't corrupt again. But yeah, Mars says some days you'll spend 5 hours just perfecting a technique. Absolutely. Facts. Yes, I agree. Signature. Yeah. It's but that's also the thing is I think some people go through the repetitions a lot without thinking critically about what they're doing. I see. I've definitely met producers before where it sounds like they're just making the same beat every day, and they're not really like making progress in what they're trying to do. And I feel like I'm always trying to find stuff that like, I'm trying to find strengths and weaknesses, stuff that I'm really good at. And I'm like, okay, I'll do more of this, right? I'll try to go deeper in this direction. But I'm also trying to be conscious of like things that I might be bad at, right? Like when I was first getting into making type beats and I was making a beat every single day, I basically I sucked at making bridges, man. I just sucked at bridge sections, So I made a goal for myself. I was like, every single beat that I published this month, which I was making one a day, I was like, it has to have a bridge section, non-negotiable. That's how I'm going to get good at bridge sections, right? So I did it, and then I kind of noticed after a full month of like including bridge sections, I was like, well, I'm doing the same cookie cutter bridge section, right? I was like, all I'm doing is like I riser sweep, I drop out the drums, I play the melody, and then I sweep back in to the hook or whatever. And I was like, okay, new rule to push myself even farther than that. I'm not allowed to use this cookie cutter bridge section. That's forbidden for this next month, right? So I had to get extra creative, right? That's how I got really good at bridge sections. All right, so this one's going to be untagged for profit. This is what you get when you buy the beat. You get the untagged, unmastered, untagged for profit. Comes with a license, all that good stuff. But yeah, I see Mars was saying, yes, SMS, and sometimes it requires reinforcement, which means you'll practice that technique for several weeks. Absolutely. Yeah, smart. And he says, it's the same with production. So many people don't understand how important gain staging is. Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think that's kind of lands more in mixing territory, but I feel like people's first thoughts around this starts in production. You know, it usually starts with, why don't my kicks fucking bump like other people's? And a lot of the times the solution lands more in the mixing territory, where it's like, well, it's just gain staging. It's just how you have your levels. Like if you want your kick to really bump, turn it up, you know, like absolutely, man. All right, we got this. Okay, cool. Okay, these are all good. Now, fun part, I have to name every bit of this, but it's okay. This is a super simple beat, so I don't have a whole lot that I gotta name. We got the TapDaddy tag. I always like to put in the title here, optional, just so that artists know, like, I'm sending this to you in the stems. You can use it or you don't have to. I'm not going to feel any which way about it, but it's there if you like it, which you'd be surprised how many artists I come across that decide to include my tag in the final product because they just like the tag. They like having a beat by TapDaddy. They're like, no, I want to rep it, man. Like that's always a good feeling. That's a really good feeling. All right, light rain. There we go. But yeah, I see Mars saying, yeah, it's about gain staging and how you push up into the limiter. Yes, that really defines a tone of the track. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I feel like also a lot of these things that were like kind of out of my reach, like I couldn't quite describe the quality of the drums that I was listening to, but I was like listening to like some really like bumping, snappy drums on like some Dilla beats or something. And I didn't realize until later, like, oh, that's compression. That's what compression is. Oh, but it's not just compression. It's really slow attack and fast release on drums. That's what that sounds like. That's what makes it snap like that. Like, you know. But it takes years to get there, man. Strings. Let's see. This one is upright bass. I think I can turn up the Ableton Live volume since we're not dealing with the mastered version now. Yeah, this is the next beat. I'm actually dropping this today on BeatStars, but we're gonna put this out on YouTube on Friday. Let's see, this is piano chops. It's a really simple beat. I'm trying to get a little bit more simplified with beats for rappers, you know? I don't want to overcrowd the track. Okay, so we got piano chops and then we got piano. That's fine. This instrument over here, I never know what to call, so I'm just calling it string plucks. Just to show you guys, I use this instrument a lot. It's good. But yeah, Mars says yes. There's a kit on Reason's Retro that sounds like crap when you just play a beat on it. But when you gain stage that kit right, it sounds massive. Just an example. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I got you. God, this is gonna be a cool track, I think. But yeah, you're totally right. I feel like also a lot of people's problems in mixes can really just be boiled down to their leveling. Like, my approach for solving any problem in a mix is I always try to go about it in the most simple way possible first, right? So if I can fix a problem by just turning something up or turning something down, I start there. Then it's like, if I can fix it by shifting it left, shifting it right, I move to that. Then it's like, if I can fix this by a little bit of EQ adjustment, I'll do that, you know? Then it's like, okay, maybe this needs compression. Maybe I need some reverb on here. Maybe, you know, like whatever, right? but just starting the most simplest first, right? Just playing with the level. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Now, these are all the wet, and I didn't really even have much. I did such a minimal mix on this. You see, I did like a little EQing compression on here. I did a little bit of compression here, ran it through a guitar amp on the drums, but I really didn't do too much on this mix. I was trying to be super minimal with it. But we're gonna call these the wet stems. We're going to export these to the wet stems folder. And let's see, we're going to do select tracks, selected tracks only. And we're going to export Walk This Earth. And so what I do when I'm exporting stems, I do the initials of the beat, Walk This Earth, WTE, and I do wet. There we go. And then everything else is just in there. Okay, so we're going to do this first, and then we're going to do the drums dry and then wet, and then we're going to come back and do everything dry. I've got a process for this, man. I've done like hundreds and hundreds of beats. I think I've got over 500 beats on my BeatStars. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Man, I feel like I should export some of this stuff more on stream because I feel like I'm so unproductive when I do this alone. I'm just like staring at my phone and then I get distracted. But yeah, Chocolate, what's up, dude? Yeah, he says, hey, is there such a thing as a industry branded hip hop snare? Oh man, so like technically there's a lot of snares that are like synonymous with hip hop. Like, you know, we all know what we're talking about when it comes to like a trap snare, right? Like a snare that you hear in trap music, a snare that you would associate with trap, right? But if you're asking like if there's such thing as like an actual snare that is like more like specifically for hip hop, it's like everything that you hear in hip hop music is like modeled in some way or another after a real instrument. You know, those trap snares are just modeled off of smaller snare drums that have a much higher sound to them, right? But I don't know if that answers your question, but basically everything's modeled off of something, you know? It's such a sample-based genre as well that like a lot of what you're hearing is the results of the incredible like engineering of 70s like soul music, jazz music, you know, all of that, right? But yeah, Mars says a guy told me once you use saturators too much, but the key with saturators is accenting the proper frequencies, so when the volumes are low, they still stand out. Yeah, and you know, I would say for me, I feel like it comes down to I need to use the right type of saturation for the right instrument. Drums, I'm using like decapitator, you know? Honestly, I try to like lean away from too much saturation on most of my instruments. But I'll tell you what I have really learned about saturation as of lately. I think my tracks sound really good when I can get away with a lot of saturation on my master chain. I love to really make a track more vibrant with lots of saturation on the master chain, but I can only get away with that when my mixes are super clean and super well balanced, right? It's just like, I don't know, more saturation is good, but there's a limit to how much you can get away with, right? But yeah, Chocolate was saying, only reason I'm asking, tired of review guys telling me, oh, I don't like the snare. No, I've been there, man, I've been there. But you know, hey, you should listen to them if you got a lot of people telling you I don't like the snare that you're using. I remember forever ago, like I was trying to get feedback from like people on Reddit a lot when I was first starting out with type beats. Specifically, I was trying to get any feedback from mix engineers because I just needed to know what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong. And I just remember I had this one guy that kept telling me, dude, your kick is like a little kitten batting at my ears. Like that kick is so pitiful, man. Your kicks are not enough for boom bap. And he would tell me this like every day. Every day I had a beat that I was shopping by people, he would tell me the same thing every day. Dude, your kicks are just so weak. And, you know, I tried 1,000 different things. I tried turning the volume up on them. I tried saturation on them. I tried a lot of things. What solved it for me, though, was just picking better kicks. And it took me a long while to really understand what makes a good kick, what makes for something. Honestly, in general, I think like the biggest advice I would give you in terms of like that issue with picking the right snare is envision in your mind the result you want. Envision the qualities of what you think makes for a really good snare. Reference tracks even. Just, I love the snare in this one track. Like, I need to thumb through one shots until I find something like it, right? But in general, you know, I have this thing that I like to say, which is you can't turn a donkey into a unicorn, okay? You're going to have better luck searching for a unicorn than you are turning a donkey into a unicorn. What I mean by that is if the snare isn't right, don't try to fix it. Go pick another snare, right? And 9 times out of 10, that'll get you like way better results, right? But, you know, I will say, man, when you do find the perfect snare, and you start to piece together like the perfect drum kit, what you can do is you can save it and you can always have it at a moment's notice. You can always pull out that drum kit, right? This right here is TapDaddy 146 Chill Boom Bap. This is a drum rack that I have saved within Ableton. That is a collection of instruments, of chops that I've taken from drum breaks. And what I did in this track is I ran it through, I know this about this drum rack, that I can run it through this guitar amp and it sounds cool. And check it out. I mean, this is so hip hop, man. It's so happenstance though. Like, you kind of need to like dig until you have that moment of bliss, that happenstance where it comes together and you go, this is such a vibe, this sound right here. I love the tightness of the snare. I love the little soft boominess of that kick. Whoo! I don't know. But yeah, Mars was saying hip-hop claps and snares usually don't have a high pitch envelope and usually pretty fat in length. Whereas with techno/house, they're usually short with a high pitch envelope. But hey, whatever works. Oh yeah, absolutely. You see, there's like genre specifics, right? There's norms within genres. And I think it's like smart to be aware of these norms. Like in lo-fi music, the hi-hats are muted, right? We usually do a low pass filter on the hi-hats, right? But also just know that like it's okay, like these rules are not law, right? And it would be really boring if everybody just followed the rules. Like, there's got to be room for innovation in here, you know? All right, let's stem out the drums. I'll show you guys how I do my drums. So let's first of all see how many one-shots we have. So we got kick, snare, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat. And I think that's it. So that's only 4 audio tracks. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to say all of these. We're going to say, okay, extension in from drums. We're taking audio from drums. We're piping it in. And now we're going to set each track to each one of these one-shots. Now, what we need to do, though, is group these. and I'm going to set it to -7 since that's what this drum rack is set to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to pipe these in dry first and bounce those, and then we're going to come back and apply the exact effects that we have on our drum rack so that we can individually export the wet snare, the wet kick, you know, all of that. So yeah, it's going to be loud at first. In fact, let's just name this. We're going to name it kick, snare, hi-hat CL, and hi-hat OP. And you know, you guys will notice I'm doing both dry and wet versions of this. Look, as a mix engineer, I really appreciate it when I get the track outs, the like driest version of the instrumentation that you're sending me, right? Like something that is like literally as close to like before it hits any sort of effects or processing, just like the raw guitar sound before it hits any distortion or whatever. I like getting that, but I also like having a subset. Like I like having the stems that have been processed. And really why I like this is because a lot of the times like people got a decent mix going before they send it off. And it's like, I like being able to put together your stems completely unmastered, see what we're working with. And if there's an issue with one of these stems, I dig into my bag of dry track outs and I try to rebuild it in a better way, right? But some people prefer to only work with the wet stems. Some people prefer to only work with the dry track outs. And I feel like it kind of depends on where you're at in your mixing career. People that really know what they're doing usually prefer to only work with the dry track outs, right? But I like to give people options. So I send both. But all right, so we got these named. We got kick. And you'll notice like we're going to hear this without the processing. So now we got, but we got to go look at these one shots to make sure we don't have anything on them. Like this snare has a little room. Now this is the driest version. Let me just double check that I don't have anything else on here. No, we're good. Okay, so now I can export just these guys. We're going to highlight these. We're going to say export selected tracks only. And we're going to export to the dry drums folder. We're going to say WTE walk this earth dry. It's going to use the names that we put here after that. Boom. But yeah, Mars says, yes, so much happens with the timing and the dry sounds, which includes using some compression as a time domain effect. You can make dry sounds sound really big with timing. And yeah, for me, a lot of the times what bugs me is like, you know, they'll be using like all these reverbs that just like don't match each other, that just don't make sense. Or they'll over compress a certain like guitar or vocal or something. And vocals specifically, I need to start from absolute scratch, you know. But like I said, if they've got something that feels good, that feels halfway decent, I'll use it as a starting place. And I'll decide for myself what is wrong with it, right? But I recently did my first rock mix. I was mixed a rock, an indie rock song for a friend of mine the other day. It was really interesting. It was really fun. It challenged me. But yeah, it kind of had some of that where it's like he had some stuff that was built in such a nice way that I was like, okay, well, I don't want to take away from how the demo sounded in this regard. I'm going to include exactly that version of this sound here, but I'm going to build mostly everything else, right? So, yeah. Let's see, where are we at? We got our drums, perfect. Just want to double, triple check. Cool. So right now, we've got, we just exported all of these one-shots individually of the dry. Now we're going to make this wet. We got to turn back on what we had on our snare. And we need to bring over all of this stuff, and we're going to put it on the group. And now it sounds like nice. Make sure we have the exact same thing. Yep. Damn, that's good. But yeah, sometimes a good reverb on the master can make a track sound great. But it's better to get the dry sounds right first. Yeah, I've seen people do that sometimes. I'm usually not putting reverbs on my master, but I'm choosing reverbs that go together in the mix. But yeah, coffee time, I feel you, man. I feel you on that. All right, let's see. We are going to export these as wet now. I gotta decide what kind of type beat this is. I don't feel like it fits any one bill like super precisely, but I might just call it like a Tribe Called Quest type beat. The drums feel a little bit Dilla-ish. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I used to obsess over how accurate my type beats are, and quite honestly, it is better if your type beats are more accurate. But it doesn't matter if you have something that's more nuanced. Sometimes that saves the day when you're showing people beats, to not be a one-to-one on everything. People kind of, it may not be the most searchable, but when you're like showing stuff to people in a pack, it can really pop off, right? So we might call this a Tribe Called Quest beat, or I might call it like a J Dilla type beat, or like maybe I'll call it like a Nas type beat. Nas, Pete Rock kind of vibe. It doesn't sound super like Illmatic-ish, but it's like, it's kind of got that East Coast feel to it. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, Chocolate says, okay, man, I'm done for the day. Hell yeah, dude. Heading home. Glad I found your channel. Yeah, I'm glad you found my channel, dude. Too. It's good to have you hanging out, man. But yeah, he's like, you know exactly what you're doing. Peace. Catch you on the next one. Absolutely, man. Thanks for popping in, man. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. What are we on to now? Now we're bouncing all of the dry stuff. We're going to take off that. I am going to include this this snare as it is, with this slight room, just because this is part of the individual, not the group, and we're trying to just bounce the dry version of the group. So, all right, we'll get rid of this EQ, this compression. We'll get rid of this EQ and this boost. Well, actually, this one might just leave. That's not doing anything aside from turning things up. We didn't do anything here mix-wise. We did EQ, compress our upright bass. Strings, we didn't do anything. Light rain, we didn't do anything. My tag, I'll take off this reverb off the tag, but I think I'll leave it aside from that. TapDaddyBeats. Cool. All right, now we can export this. We're gonna export all of these as the dry versions. So we're going to say walk this earth, WTE, dry. Boom. All right. And yeah, I might just go ahead and make the artwork for this one and get it all ready to like just throw it up on BeatStars. I need to anyways. Why not? We got the time. I'll show you guys what I do for just like, I really am trying to not overthink my artwork. I just grab a picture of whatever artist and make it look nice in Canva, slap the title of the beat in there, you know. And then I pull it up in iMovie, I bounce a video of it. We put it on BeatStars, and then we schedule it on YouTube. All right. So let's make sure we got all of our files. We are, yeah, doing good here. Also, there's still something I got to add to this. I like to take the unmastered versions, both the tagged and the untagged version, and I put it in this top layer here. This is specifically to be used as a reference for any mix engineer that might get this. So we're going to call this one tagged reference. Because sometimes the artists forget to send these, and it's just like, if I put this in the same folder where all the stems are, problem solved, man. Untagged reference. So whether they're trying to use the tagged version or the untagged version, they got references for either one, right? All right, so that's all cool. We can compress this. Now let's decide what kind of beat is this. Oh yeah, this is here, let's save this as bounced. Export audio, or no, not export. We're going to save as. This way, you know, since I turned everything off in the project file, I like clicked off a bunch of plugins and stuff. This is how I just made, you know, I preserve the version where it's like, it's all mixed. All the plugins are on. I haven't made a mess of everything. This way we just save as bounced. Okay, cool. All right, so, yeah, what kind of type beat do I want to do here? Let's actually go looking. What have I done lately? I did Westside Gun, I did Earl Sweatshirt, Freddie Gibbs, Earl, Freddie, Nas. I think we might call this a Nas type beat. Like, what was the last Nas one that I dropped? Yeah, this sounds on par for kind of what I've been dropping as Nas type beats, which I know is not like one-to-one, right? That's not the point of it. It's kind of a, if you like this, you're gonna like this. TapDaddyBeats. Alright, so let's make the artwork. God, this was a good beat. Oh, yeah. Nice. Let's go find just like a random picture of Nas. Let me just search Nas. We'll go images. I'll pull this over here. And, you know, I want to find, like, there's a lot of really good, like, black and whites of him. Like, this one. There's, this guy that's pretty sick. I want to find something that works in a pretty good, like I've used this one before. I've used this one. I've used this one. Something that works good in an album, size. Yeah, this will be a good one. So I'm just gonna like save to downloads. There we go. And then let's go into Canva. I like to use Canva a lot. I use it for a lot of stuff. All right, so we'll do create album cover. All right, and then now I'm going to just drag from my downloads. We're going to just pull this on here. Boom. All right. Let's get it to fill. Cool. This was like high definition too, so it's cool. All right. And we can kind of like put this over here. Now, what I do in terms of like using, like, I don't want to sift through 1,000 different fonts. And this kind of helps with consistency too, is sometimes I like to just go grab like the fonts and some assets of like some stuff that I used previously on different ones. You know, the name of the game is don't overthink it. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Like for this guy, oops, no, wrong one. I wanted to go grab this guy from this West Side Gun type beat. We're going to grab like basically all of this, but we're just going to repurpose it. We're going to say, and this will, the white will probably look good on their black jackets, right? We might have to do some stuff to get this to feel right. Maybe we try to position it where it's going to look right. Okay, so we're going to say NOS type beat. Maybe it's like down here. And, oops. Undo. Don't. Undo. Here we go. Here, I'll lock this in place so I quit moving it around. Okay, so this, we'll like maybe like put it down here, but we're going to say walk this, stretch that out a little bit, and then earth. Walk this earth is the name of the beat. We got to position this a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Like, that's sick, yeah. Spitting some NOS bars here. God, I fucking love NOS. Like, Illmatic was one of the first albums that I was like truly obsessed with in the genre. Like, I listened to it every goddamn day. Let's see where else we could kind of slip this. NOS type beat, and then maybe we even like bring this down, like try to make this a bit bigger. Walk this earth. That looks slick. That looks slick. All right. Yeah. He's like my terrible attempt at rapping. Dude, you gotta hop on the mic sometime. Go download yourself some TapDaddyBeats. Okay? I got downloads enabled. You can just download anything from here. All right, so walk this earth. Yeah, we got a cool looking. This looks pretty slick. Let's download. I always like to do PNGs, and I double the size just to be safe. Give us as many pixels as we can. All right. Cool. And this is what it looks like. Nice. That's gonna be sick. Let's let me pull up. Where is... I swear I had it somewhere. Where did I have... I'll just pull up a new... Oops. I gotta pull up a new Finder window. Okay, I'll travel back into my beat storage. Walk this earth. I recently filled a terabyte hard drive, so right now I'm just using the storage on my laptop, and I'm not going to be able to for long, but it's so weird. I've got like a nearly empty folder. I've got a full terabyte hard drive of just like stems, and everything that you see here are lots of folders for every song number. But yeah, he says, I actually sing on some of my tracks, but I keep it mild. Hey, you know, I've done a little bit of that on mine. I kind of wish I had the confidence to do more. The one time that I really laid some vocal melodies on a track, it actually came out sick, but I don't think I sing very well. So I'm like kind of kind of shy about it. I should get over myself, though, because I could do such cool things if I just got over myself and practiced a little bit. Okay, we're going to call this Walk This Earth type beat or artwork. That's what we're going for. All right, if you guys have never seen the back end of BeatStars, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you all the secrets. All right, we're going to BeatStars, beatstars.com. We're going to make sure that we upload onto my website. If you guys are curious, by the way, I'm just going to drop the link to my website. Like I said, any of you guys can download these. I have tagged non-profit versions that any of you guys can mess with any of my beats. And I have licensing if you decide that you want to do something with it. So it's literally there as a resource to you guys. So I know we probably got mostly producers here, right? Like, it's all good. All right, and then we're going to hit create track. This is going to bring us to the back end. All right. So we're going to start by bringing in the untagged, unmastered version. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to go in there. Something wrong happened. What are you talking about? I swear, BeatStars screws up all the time. Huh. Come on, dude. Okay, we're there. Did you add the untagged? Let's do this. Untagged. Slap this in here. Yeah, bookmarked? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. Seriously, though, I hope you guys get some use out of it, you know? Anyone's welcome to download, you know, some of my beats. Also, little added bonus, if you download one of my beats, you end up on my email list, which you can always just unsubscribe from. I really do not take any offense if you want to. But I write up one email every week where I usually am sending like kind of like thought pieces. I'm writing advice for artists, rappers, and all of that. And I'm also sending downloads of my beats. I'm sending links to like new stuff that, you know, sometimes I'm just like, hey, here's a bunch of Earl Sweatshirt type beats. Or sometimes like recently I did one that talked about, you know how a while ago, Mars, we were talking about Quentin Tarantino and One for You and One for Me, right? And the balance of like making stuff that appeals to your audience and stuff that appeals to you personally, right? And I did a really good like write up, kind of actually quoting that and talking about that sort of balance. And I gave examples of like ones that I made for me and ones that I made for them, and I kind of gave links to all the beats, right? I don't know. It's cool stuff. I like my email list. It's so much fun. I get to yap at people. I get to type novels and people read them. Was that you? I don't know if that was you or was it Ethach. It may have been Ethach. It was one of our regulars here was talking about Quentin Tarantino, and I thought that was like a really poignant something. Yeah. It may have been Ethach. Okay, yeah, this is 84 BPM. 84. Also, let's get our tagged version. Now, I use the master tagged version for these because I want it to sound competitive when people are listening next to other people's beats. I want mine to have any sort of competitive edge that it can, right? So I upload the master tagged version. You know, if they want the unmastered version, the version that is more suited for recording on, they can purchase it, right? But you can still make some sick demos on the master. You can still write to it, listen to it on BeatStars, do all that. But, you know. All right. I feel like it also kind of deters people from stealing beats when I only send the mastered version. But then again, some people don't care. All right, and then we gotta get the track outs all set up so I can make the big bucks by selling the big guys. All right, tags. We're gonna say Nas. Let's see. We gotta hear Here, I'll do the tagged version so it's louder. So Nas, I would say boom bap. And maybe we'll also call it like East Coast. This will be a cool one. Alright, what are we naming this? Walk this earth. Nas type beat / East Coast boom bap. We'll call it that. That sounds good. Perfect. Genres, and they only give us like a little bit. Boom bap is one genre you can choose. I think East Coast is one that you can choose, and old school hip hop. We'll call it that. Cool. All right. We should probably get the artwork in there. You know, that artwork that we spent so long on. It looks good though. It looks good. I think people scrolling past that will be like, "Ooh, nice, cool." Looks fitting for the track. TapDaddyBeats. All right, and then we're gonna say moods. We gotta think of some moods here, guys. This is the one I kind of, I'm always so uncertain about. I would say this one sounds, what are our options? A little bit dreamy, maybe. Inspiring, maybe. Mysterious, that's a good one. Mysterious, confident. Maybe determined. Maybe dreamy. Heartfelt, maybe not, but I'll say inspiring. I feel like you would lay some very inspiring bars on this. You know? Also has Gil Scott-Heron vibes. I'm not sure I know. Romantic. I don't know if I would call this a romantic track, but sometimes, I'm like bouncing ideas off of my wife, and she actually used to upload to BeatStars for me. We've kind of switched around roles. We keep bouncing back and forth on this one. But sometimes she'd be asking me, what moods do you think this beat is? And she would pitch a few and I would pitch a few. And sometimes she would have one like that I would feel is like, or I would pitch one that she would feel is like, no, it's not, dreamy or whatever. Like, what are you talking about? Is it majestic? Powerful? It's kind of powerful. Restless. Relaxed. Oh, yeah. This is relaxed. This is like some laid back bars. Could be a love song. To me, it doesn't scream love song, but you're right, it could be. I think mysterious, confident, inspiring, and relaxed is sounding good here. Now, here's the really dumb part, okay? Instruments, and they don't have much here. They have castanets, but, like, they don't have 808. It's so dumb. We can pick piano, and I think we can pick strings. But it doesn't, like, have much beyond that. Alright, well, we'll leave that there. It's not too important. Alright, let's make sure that we got all of our monetization options. So, MP3, $30, buy 2 get 1 free. We got Wave. You can get an unmastered Wave for $45. You can get the Wave plus stems for $75. That's buy 2 get 3, and the unlimited license with no stream caps on it, $150. But I do have buy 2 get 3 free. So for $300, you can get 5 of them. Stems, no stream caps, all that. All right. So let's see. Enable free downloads. We're not going to allow commercial use, but we'll enable free downloads. And I think we're good. Just look back through this. Yeah, this all looks good. Got my IPI number in here. Got the stems, everything looks good. All right, publish track. You guys saw it here first. Share your content with the world. Okay, I'll share it with you guys if anybody wants. You can go check it out. You can be the first people to click that link. All right, now let's go over to YouTube and let's schedule it. Let's see. I need to go TapDaddyBeats, and we're gonna go upload video. I gotta make the video first. Hey, Mars! Thank you so much for the $2, man. Let's go. That genuinely makes my day. I appreciate it. He's like, no strings, no string caps tax. Okay. I appreciate it. Man. Thank you. Hell yeah. Well, damn, now I feel really accomplished. Like, going live was, a good idea today. All right, let's pause this. And we got to open up iMovie. Oh, boy. We're bringing out the big guns. Okay, not really. It's just iMovie. We're just going to slap this together and upload a type beat. All right, man. Guys, we are actually getting shit done. I thought I was going to have to do this tonight after dinner, and it's super painful and slow. And let's see, what was this one? Night Stalker. Okay. Just call it Night Stalker. Boop. Here we go. Let me pull this up. But yeah, honestly, I feel like doing things in front of you guys sometimes keeps me like way more focused. What happens when I'm not live streaming is I like export some stems, and then I'm like staring at my phone while I wait for it to export, and then I continue staring at my phone and 10 minutes go by. And what could only, amount to like 45 minutes of work turns into an hour and a half, or like 2 hours, and then I feel really dumb. But that's why I'm kind of glad that I'm just doing this on stream today. All right, we're using the master tagged version, obviously. But yeah, I appreciate you guys keeping me company while I do all this. This is actually a super productive stream for me. We got a single mix down, which I'll have to hear later. Make sure. Okay, let's make sure that we got the right version, all that. And yeah, this looks good. All right, let's make sure that the end of it lines up. Perfect. Awesome. But yeah, the guys in the photo are like, look, we're famous. Oh yeah, they're going to get in front of all 30 people that watch this video. Dude, I'm not going to lie. Type beat views have been atrocious as of like this last year or so. They used to be, dude, it used to be that I would drop a type beat and it would get 500 views. Maybe it would cross 1,000 if it was like a good one. I've got like maybe one or two that have like 2,000. Nowadays, dude, some of these fall flat on their face and get 26 views. Or maybe it's a good one and it gets like 80 or 100 views, right? But even that, it's like, it's still worth it. It gets in front of people and it's in one location where, you know, rappers that are familiar with me that want to peruse my beats, some of them like to peruse my channel rather than my beat store, right? But a lot of the times how I'm continuing to keep in contact with rappers and pitch beats to them really is through that email list that I just told you about, you know, where I just, you know, once a week I just shoot them an email and show them like some of the stuff that I've been up to, you know, which is nice. I also get marketplace traffic on BeatStars. I gotta say, I think that people underestimate BeatStars Marketplace. I usually make like maybe a sale each month through the BeatStars Marketplace, which is nice, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I used to sell a lot more beats. It has slowed down, but it's okay. I've got a lot more to what I do than just beat sales, but I'm not giving up on beat sales, man, because I like it. It's how I got into this. And it keeps me connected with a lot of really talented artists, you know? So, anyways, we're going to export this. We'll call it Walk This Earth Video. Very original title. And we need to bring ourselves out into here. Here we go. Dope. But yeah, he says, that's cool. Any marketing is good marketing. And that's true, man. That's true. Honestly, you really do. I would say, like, if you are trying to sell beats, you should try to get it in front of people any which way you possibly can. Don't worry about, like, coming across as, like, oh, I posted it so much on Instagram. I posted it, you know, on Reddit or whatever. Like, oh, people are going to think I'm spammy. Like, whatever. You got to kind of put that behind you and just try to get it. Because honestly, it's like, we're not trying to be famous here. We're not trying to, like, get, you know, millions of views on a video. We're trying to get 100 views on a video, and from that 100 views, we're trying to really connect with the people that are, like, watching it, right? We're trying to follow up with artists and be like, yeah, what you think of this beat? Oh, you like this? You need more like this? Cool, I got 3 more to show you, you know? Like, I feel like that's kind of the name of the game. Any bit of progress is progress, right? But like I said, I've been so focused on my Spotify endeavors lately that's been kind of like where my mind is at. You know, it's all good. Like, I keep up my operations though. Right now I've slowed down to uploading 1 type beat per week. I was doing 3. Before that, I had like about a period of like 30 days where I did 30 like a beat every single day. I just called it 30 and 30. And it was good. It kind of sparked a little bit more traffic. We did some sales, you know. It was good. All right, let's go find that last Nas beat, and we'll reuse the metadata here. And, oh, this is perfect. Yeah, 90s hip-hop, East Coast boom bap, Nas X Illmatic type beat, which I wouldn't say is too accurate, but I'm not too worried about that. We just need to get this out and in front of people. We're going to call this 84 BPM. I'm just going to replace this link right here. We're going to pull up, oh gosh, what is going on here? I got to check something real quick because I see the MP3 is grayed out. I want to make sure that this is actually available on the Beat Store. Walk This Earth. I see it's got it the $30 option. Let's see. Yeah, it's totally fine. All right. And we will do this guy. Just a little tip for anybody else using BeatStars. You guys may have noticed, like, it sucks. I hate this. They introduced marketplace fees. So when people are buying beats, like, off of the actual BeatStars website, there's like an added fee. But if they buy directly from your pro page, which this is my pro page, they don't get that marketplace fee. So I'm always trying to direct traffic to the market, or to my homepage, to my my pro page. And you can do that by just using only the pro page link to show people, you know. But yeah, Mars is saying, then again, 1 million views puts you on a lot of mainstream lists just because of traffic. Oh, dude, I have a song on YouTube that just crossed 80,000 streams. But it's not on my TapDaddyBeats channel. It's on my Topic channel. And it's my, most streamed song, Lady Moon, has been doing really good on YouTube, which is crazy. Like, I've actually been doing pretty good in terms of royalties coming from YouTube just from that one song. It's like, oh, that's decent. It's not bad, But yeah, it's like, it's not the TapDaddy video, so it's like not. Yeah, if you search Lady Moon TapDaddy on YouTube, I'm sure you'll come across it. It's on my TapDaddyBeats, it's on my Topic channel. And it seems to be mostly my Brazilian fans are coming across it. I have a lot of fans in Brazil that have been discovering my music, But yeah, I see Mars says, I like the Topic channels. I listen to a lot of albums. Absolutely, man. And I don't know if you know how much about distribution, but when you distribute music like to Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that, they automatically generate a Topic channel for you. And that's where you're getting streams from YouTube. And I think they use that version for YouTube Red, YouTube Music, and just normal YouTube, right? So I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Let's see. No, I did not use AI. We're going to click no on that because we like to actually make our music. Going to unclick all of this experimental, automatic chapters. We don't need that. Featured places. We don't need that. Automatic concepts. We don't need that. We got all of our metadata here. This is what's kind of nice about reusing data from, if you've done a NOS beat in the past, you can just kind of reuse everything that you typed up beforehand. But yeah, you're going to need to take a vacation in Rio. Yo, definitely, man. Absolutely. Oh, man. I honestly, dude, I really love having fans from Brazil. I feel like Brazilian fans are the best, I think American fans are sometimes very hard to please. Just cultural difference. I feel like Brazil is super eager to support artists and hop on board and show a lot of support. What's kind of cool though is all of the traffic that I get from Brazil, it helps push me out in the algorithms in the US. So I get a lot of streams from the US, radio traffic on Spotify and all of that. But it's funny. It's a bunch of the traffic in Brazil is sparking a lot of traffic in America, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Make a camera captured documentary of your vacay. Hell yeah, man. Did you see, I think it was Madlib, dropped a mixtape called A Flight to Brazil. And what it was he did a little documentary of him flying down to Brazil, buying a bunch of crates of vinyl and just flipping it all in his hotel room. And it was really cool. He dropped the mixtape and he dropped a little documentary of him going to Brazil and crate digging and just smoking blunts and flipping shit. Is really sick, man. I thought it was dope. Let's see. We don't need any of that. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to schedule for this to come out on Friday, but it is out now on BeatStars. So I just like to be consistent on YouTube about what days I release. And for me, it's every Friday. Yes, we're going to monetize. Yes, thank you. I'll take your pennies. Ad suitability. Did we use inappropriate language? I don't think so. Was there adult content, sexual behavior, language, or expressions? I don't think so, but it is a pretty sexy beat. Violence. People might rhyme about violence on there. Shocking content. No, I don't think it's that. Harmful acts and unreliable claims. Well, okay, I got to think about this one because I think people might be fronting on the beats. They might be making some unreliable claims, if you catch my drift. Recreational drug use. Okay, well, nobody. Yeah. Enabling dishonest behavior. Yeah, okay. So this is the one I got to think about. By dropping these type beats, some people are going to be rapping some cap rap on these beats, and that might be enabling dishonest behavior. All right. We're all good. We're doing none of the above. That's not us. It's just a beat. But might be enabling some dishonest behavior. All right. We don't need to do any of that. It's fine. And that's fine. And we'll just schedule this to come out Friday, May 15th at 8 a.m. I always like to drop at like 8 in the morning. It's good. Early in the day. Oh, shit. I just realized something. We didn't change the title. We changed the title to Walk This Earth. Cool. But yeah. You're an enabler, Tap. I might be, man. I really might be. Okay. Walk This Earth. Do I have room for prod TapDaddy? I'm getting to the size as an instrumental artist that having TapDaddy attached to the name sometimes might draw more traffic than having like East Coast or let's drop like we could have it like we can drop the East Coast part. I'll just say /boombap/90s hip hop. I want to put my name in there just because people are searching for my name. It's funny, like I get no traffic as a type beats, but I get traffic from my audience on Spotify. So anyways, I think that's good. 84 BPM. Yeah, we're good there. All right. Next, and 8 a.m. Perfect. All right, guys. Schedule. We've done it. Oh my gosh. Well, damn. That was actually really perfect, guys. I think on that note, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for keeping me company. You guys are too kind for hanging around while I do the boring work of music production. This is literally it. I feel like this is the bane of my existence. Bouncing stems, making type beats artwork, filling out metadata, on BeatStars and YouTube. It's like that is the stuff that sucks so much of my time away, but it's all good. Like that's the kind of work that needs to get done so that I can continue to like chase doing music in a meaningful way, right? Got to put your music to work for you, right? So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you, Mars, for hanging out. Thank you again for the $2 tip. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Signature. I appreciate you popping in, man. Thank you, Chocolate. I appreciate you, man. Who else did we have in here? Aiden, thank you for popping in, dude. And yeah, I think that'll do it. So until next time, my name is TapDaddy. Happy producing. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.